Alright, let's go. So, on today's stream, I'm going to be doing a little bit of pixel art using my iPad and Apple Pencil and using the app Aseprite. So, just get everything set up here and want to make sure we are good to go. And it looks like we are. And then I'm going to get some music going too. Let's see. Make sure it's not too loud. And the cool thing is the music is Creative Commons, so we should be good to go. All right. My cat just won the lottery, so that's pretty good. Okay, got everything going. So, yeah, as far as like inspiration, so today I saw this picture, or took this picture, saw this building, and I thought, it might be cool to draw something like that as pixel art. It doesn't have to be a one to one, but just using it as like inspiration of like, oh, I like how like the building looks like old and has like a lot of like soot on it. And I like the older style arch of the windows, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, I thought this would be a good inspiration for making what we're going to make today with pixel art. Doesn't have to be super detailed, super complex, but yeah, I thought it was a good starting point as like, a warm up or whatever I want to do. But yeah. All right, so got the app open up here. This is Aseprite. It's a Mac app, but I'm mirroring from my Mac to my iPad, which is pretty cool. All right, so just looking at that reference picture, like it looks like to me there are like different shapes that we have going on here, so I'm just going to rough it out. So go switch to pencil. I'm just going to rough it out here. Actually, let's make the pencil a little bit more chunky. Yeah, 8 looks good to me. All right, so just rough out the general shape of the building that was there before, and that'll give kind of like a good idea. So there's like a smokestack at the top here, and then, or a chimney, and then it just kind of went across the bottom here. That's pretty much the basic shape. The chimney was pretty tall too, compared to the rest of the building. And then there was like a background building that kind of overlapped too. So let's see, if I take this layer here, I think I can drag it. No? Let's do new layer. And then we can take the old layer. I can just cut it and paste it into the second layer here. So in the background here, okay, so in the background here, doing a little like light shading for a building that was like kind of trying to like adjusting the perspective. So let's see if I can rotate my source image. There we go. Oop, too much. So it would have been like this, in the background. And then it had like a structure that went up here. So you've got like the two overlapping each other. And then the perspective of like looking up at it at an angle. Okay, so then I'm just going to do a little bit of outlining. Doesn't mean it has to stay that way, but just, oops, just to kind of get it out of my head. Let's see. Take that down to like 1. Okay. So I want this to be straight. And then the angle looked pretty cool of how I shot the photo. Maybe that's part of what like gave it that like, because like this just like looks like normal building. So let's try to do the angles similar, I think. So if I like rough that out, if I want to match the angle, it was more like this. And I think that's what kind of gave it that interesting look. And then it went across like this. Got those handshake jitters. There we go. Come on. All right. And then taking it across like this. Yeah, I think that makes sense. And then I can trim off some of this on the side here with the eraser tool. And go back to like that original blocking too. And take off some of that in the back here. Yeah, looks nice. And then going back to that like purplish color. Let's just fill, oh, it's still an eraser. Fill this in. I know there's a fill tool, but I like doing this. Okay. So that's like the front of it, right? And then in the background, this shape needs to change. So let's go ahead and make that pretty big for the eraser. Take the eraser back down. Go back to the pen, which I think is what, the P shortcut? Come on. What's it say? B. Okay. Alright, and for that, we'll go back to this more like neutral color. And for the shape of that, it was like at an angle too. Which I kind of like how that looked. So the angle was more like this. And then there was a middle part of the building that stretched up like this. And kind of cut in. And then up again. And then over. And I just liked how that contrast of curves looked. And then we can erase some of that here on the sides. Nice. And then take our fill tool here and just fill in some of this purple in the background. Whoop, too much. And I guess because like that just juts out, I need to close it in by pulling it down like this. And then I can fill in the rest. Nice. And then I want to go in with like a darker shade here. Put in a new layer and just give that an outline to kind of show some of the detailing there. All right. And then this came down here because there was some shadowing, so the background like object there was like that. Okay, so got the outline here. Going to add to it a little bit more because this chimney like came out because it has depth and connects like this. And technically I guess I could make these like the traditional brick colors, but I can worry about color later. So then on this color layer, actually, you can go ahead and choose that purple again, take it just a touch darker, and then fill in the color here. And that gives it a little bit of like shadowing so that the light is coming in from like this area and then shining down. And then in the sky could be blue, yes, but let's give it a little bit of a yellowish color. Let's see if I can move this layer. Come on. There we go. And give it like a lighter orangish yellowy color. Like something like this. And the opacity is way down. Oops. Okay. And then we'll add that to the palettes and fill that in to the backgrounds. So it's like kind of like, you know, a dusky type part of the day. Even though that's not what was in the like original source picture, thought that looked nice. Okay, so now this, like I said, had some like curved windows too. So let's go ahead and put those in here. Just gonna kind of rough those out. Not really sure exactly how I want to do that, but let's see. It had like one, oops. It's still on that fill tool. All right. And let's go drag this, oops. Drag this layer back up to the top too. Cool. So it had almost like what looked like eyes to me. Like windows that just curved a little bit like this, which was kind of cool. It's like, hi. It's like little happy eyes. And then they would go down at this angle like this. And then straight across. I may want to zoom in and focus on those two. Let's see. Just deleting some of those extra pixels that were like hanging out there. And let's kind of rough out some more with this. So there was like, I don't want to give the window like bags under its eyes, but there is some like space under it to where like a window ledge would be. And then If I sample from this color back up the top here, which I need to add to the palette, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. If I sample from that, then I can go back to these windows here. Let's see. Whoops. Too much. Ooh. Where's my hand tool? Come on. There we go. And then I can go ahead and add in like this. Oh, my cat, she needs to be fed. She got fed by the automatic feeder, but she does need some wet food. I heard her meowing for me. Alright, so we've got like the indent there, which is nice. And I think for like the window panes themselves, we can pull in some of this yellow for now. Because it's like reflecting the sky, like normally like would reflect blue in some cases. Or it could be like the lights on that are inside of the building. I think that looks nice. Yeah, and maybe kind of pull out some of that border. There we go. Kind of clean up some of those lines. Yeah, that looks good. Hello. My cat is here. She would like some food. She says, please feed me. Please feed me now. Alright, so I'll be right back. I'm going to go give her some food, and I'll continue on with the stream. Enjoy some chill music. Yeah. Come on, let's get some food. Alright, the Amy has been fed. The kitty cat has been taken care of. Good times. Had to feed the kitty cat, and she is good to go. Also got myself another soda for later. Okay, so we have these like these windows, and you can kind of see in a little bit, I think, but I don't know if it's worth showing in the detail because it's such a small structure, I guess, but let's see. It did have like these partitions that go down the window like this. And looking at that, that's a little too thick, I think, for the actual resolution. It also had like a shape where like it went across the top where like it had some space between the arch and the actual window itself. But I like the stylized structure of having it like with that like tall look. Now I do think in this case I want to, yeah, straighten up that line on the bottom window there. And then peel that back again. Just trying to see like where If the curves still look like curves, or is that too pointy? Let's see. No. Let's get back in there with that yellow. Oh, too much. Yeah, I think they look fine. Oh, I do think I could make it match a little bit more though. So on this curve here, let's see. On this curve here, it doesn't really match the other one. So that has to do with like how the angles are. So what I can do is try to mimic that a little bit more. So let's go back into the black here. Zigzags. So we have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and then it goes up a little bit more here. So yeah, that's pretty cool. 1 second. It's just one of those days. Cat wanted attention and she's like, hey, I'm going to tear up your carpet while you're on stream because, you know, you can't do anything about it. Haha. Oh, kitty cats. Alright, so then taking that back up a little bit more, I think kind of evens it out. And then window-wise, pulling that over like that evens that out a little bit more too. Now, on zoomed out size, it still looks like it's not as smooth, I think. But I don't want to like literally split pixels. But what I can do is draw in some more of this purple here. So, where is the purple? Yeah, drawing more of that purple to kind of even out the lines. Put that over here so that they're not so doubled up on each other. Kind of give it more of a curved appearance. Let's trim that a little bit and see what that looks like. Oh yeah, looking a lot more smoother. And I'll do this right one too. And I kind of like it more sharp at the bottom because that's what I want it to be. But yeah, that gives it a little bit more of a curvature to it, which is pretty cool. Still looks like there's like it's a little too pointy down here along the windowsill. Let's see. No, oh, my palm drew. Let's see. That does still make it like if I just drag that across here and did that, that would be too dark. Not so good. Okay, so maybe like this. No. We'll draw that in. I think that's pretty good for now for the windows. I think I'll pull this over a little bit more to kind of make that match. I don't know. I kind of like it without it. And then maybe giving it a little bit more here on the side. No, that's too much. But that's all good. Alright, I think that's enough for the windows now. Deliberated on those a bit. And we've got to do a few more of those too, so let's go ahead and do the selection tool. Where is it at? Where are you? Oh, it's the first one. What am I doing? Okay. No. Not the magic wand. Where's the lasso? Let's escape out of that. There we go. Copy. And then we'll make a new layer. And then we'll paste. And then we'll pull that down. Nice, because they did stack in like a grid with that. Now the ones on the bottom do look a little bigger because like the perspective starts to come down. So let's work on that real quick. So zoom back in. And then we'll take that down. Back down here. And then try to match that angle as best as we can. Let's see. So we have this across, and then 2 across, and then 2 across. And then 3. Nice. So that made the window a little taller, which looks nice. Okay, and then with this one, we're going to take this one a little taller too. So about 3 pixels down, I think. And then let's do something more of the color again. Oops. There we go. And that shadowing here. Nice. Take that down too. And then we'll switch back to black. And let's take it across. Only 2 here. And then 2, oops. And then 2 here. And then the rest across. And then I can go in and fill in some of that yellow here too. Nice. Oh, I see. Actually, to make it match the top one, let's see. We'll go back to black. And then take out this extra. And that should make the pattern match the one up top, and it does. Very nice. So we've extended the windows down because that's the perspective. Like you're on the ground, things that are further away look smaller, and then the things that are closer to you look bigger, so that makes sense here. Now there were some cool looking pipes on the side of the building too, so let's see what that looks like. Alright, so we've got the like chimney look. Got some of the windows that were there. I'm not going to do like all the windows that were there because that's just too much detail. But I think these make sense. But there were also like pipes alongside the building. I could do those in black, but maybe I should do them in like this silver grayish color, which I think would match the palette a little bit. So let's go ahead and create a new layer. And there were like different pipes in different spots. So like there's a pipe here. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, and it's not. I mean, right now it's not, but it does give a good guide of like where to place certain things. And I'm matching that pipe's angle to the roof's angle at the top. So like the angle here matches the angle up here, which I don't think you can see because of the cursor, but yeah. Yeah, up here. And so there was also similar pipes on the edge of the building that went down like this. And there were a couple of those, actually like 3 or 4 of those in the like inspiration photo or the source photo. And so just like as a reminder of what that was, this is the inspiration photo. So as you can see, there's like pipes in the middle here and pipes that run along the top of the window, or not the window, but yeah, the window on the right hand side where the stairs are. So that's kind of where basing this off of. And then there was like another pipe maybe like here that was kind of further down, but I think that works. And then we can make some small detail adjustments to these to kind of make that look nicer. So one of the things that we can do is take the eraser and just cut off some of these edges like this to kind of curve it out and clean up these lines. Might want to zoom that in a little bit. Make that easier for everybody to see. Okay, and then take this off here. Kind of want it to hit the edge there, so let me go back to that. And then just taking off eraser wise some more of this. To kind of give it that like angled pipe look. Because the pipe only has to be like a pixel. Like it really doesn't have to be huge. And I can add this back and then maybe put it down here like this. Kind of extend that. And then let's see, what else? Just was checking the chat. All right, so then eraser wise, we can go ahead and clean up this line too. So I just did that just to kind of break it up a little bit more there. And those are really pipes. I mean, we can add a little bit more like shading. So maybe doing like a darker color, the same color, and just kind of shade it in a few different spots here. Like this. But nothing too aggressive. But just to give it some like depth. And really that just adds a lot more in here on this line maybe to kind of have it like fade out. That looks so much better already. And then let's go ahead and shade this one, and we'll actually clean it up too. Do some eraser first to make sure that like it steps down at the right angle. And then we can go ahead and add in some of these shadows too here. Kind of give it some of that depth too. Very nice. So the other thing I want to do, let's add in our 50th later. No, is we used this dark purple earlier for like the top of the chimney area, but just to kind of give it some like, hey, this is brick, so I'm going to try to match some of the angles of the other. And then we can go in here and just give it the slight detail to let your eye know, like, hey, that's a brick. I can connect these here. And then maybe, let's see, maybe do it along the bottom here to show that, like, hey, this is a windowsill. And let's use the eraser to clean up some of these double lines. Go back to that pencil for the shadows. Oops. Very nice. Okay, and then over here, clean up that line. Add in some more shadows in the other windows too. Oops, really should be helpful. That just kind of gives it like the illusion that there's a ledge under that window. And then the ones that are closer to us, we might add a little bit more detail, but I think as far as like the preview goes, that looks pretty good. Nice. And then let's add some more like essence of bricks around here. Let's see. So just show that like here's those chunkinesses. Getting the angle right. We're trying to. Come on, eraser. Alright, zoom in on that. A little bit more here to kind of show where that's at. Whoops. Get back to our pencil. So yeah, still maintaining that like angle. That's hopefully still the right angle. And then showing that like, hey, this building has some texture and it has some bricks, but we don't have to draw every single brick because that would just take forever. But you give enough detail, your eyes will kind of like fill in the blanks a little bit. Okay, maybe there, in the middle, looks pretty good. And then maybe another one here in the middle. Let's drag that down a little bit more. So I would say too that this is so far away in the sky that actually should have less detail, I think. So what I'll do is go back and then add in just a few of these, but not too many. Kind of spread them out. A few dots here and there. Maybe that's too much already. And then on this shadowy area, taking that down a notch, just kind of giving it a little bit of texture here too. Yeah, I like that. Very nice. Oh, I drew something in the sky. Let's erase that. Alright, and a few more bricks here down at the bottom. Well, I definitely need to zoom that in. Yeah. Just a few more details here. Maybe stepping them up each time to kind of show like here's some more of the bricks. Yeah, I kind of like that. And maybe even doing one here like this. No, too much. Keep the shape simple. Yeah. And then maybe even here. Pulling it in. That looks like graffiti. Nope, not going to do that shape. And actually I might erase some of this too, to kind of break that up. Yeah, I think that's better. Nice. All right. So added in a lot of the detail for this building so far. It technically had stairs on the side here, but I don't know if the detail of that would get lost. Let's do a little bit more of the brick here, I think. No? There we go. Let's see. A little bit of brick here. A little bit more here. Just kind of speckling it around. Nice. Okay. Now this other building in the background, kind of don't have anything showing that is a building yet, or that's like indicating that it is a background or a building in the background. It just kind of looks like a curve. So let's go back to that. Let's see, just looking at our layers here. And really too, while I'm here, maybe I'll take this like darkest purple color, and then I'll fill in some of, where's that tool? Fill in some of the borders here to be a darker color. Yeah, the darker purple color. Kind of take off some of the edge there, and then back here, going to erase some of the extraness from this background. Nice. And then also too on this corner here. Oops. There we go. Just removing some more of the jaggedies. Kind of straighten that up a bit. Clean that up a bit. Nice. And then cleaning up our corners here too. Let's go ahead and fill that in here with the darker color. Whoops, too much. Nice. I think that blends in a bit more. Kind of makes it look like it's less of just like a cartoon drawing and more of like, it's still pixel art, but it's, I don't know, style's a little different. I like it. Now for the windows. Let's see which layer is which. There we go. Now if I take in this darker color, is it going to match the, yeah. So what I need to do before I fill that in is take these shadows down one more notch here in the windowsill, like that. Maybe even like this, no. Maybe if I pull that down here, maybe it is time to do that. I kind of like that. What if like this? No. Oh, I kind of like that. Yes. All right. Let's see. How does that look angle-wise? Yes, very good. And then for this darker color, for the out border, it's actually lighter. But that's the building's outline. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Let's do that for the other side. So we will take this color here, and then we'll darken up the shadows on the right-hand side window at the top. And then extend that out a little bit more. This. Yeah. And then we'll take that outline color up a bit, just so it matches the outline of the building. And it's still creating that shadow under it of like the inset of the windows. Nice. Just checking like perspective. I think that looks good. All right, and then down here. Grab this layer. And we want to do the same with that darker color. Here, maybe. Oh, grab the wrong layer. Actually, let me delete this real quick. It was bothering me. Okay. And we'll go in and darken this area under the window. So it has like more of a sill looking area. And then put the line here. No. Put the line. Oop, that was the same line. Put the line here. Yes. And then on this other window, whoa. Pull that back down. Go ahead and darken too. Make it a little bit more chunky. And then pull that sill down, I think in the same area. Yeah, that makes sense. And then let's go ahead and grab that color and do the outline. Make sure we got the right layer. Nice. Okay, and this layer here. Perfect. Just the way we wanted it. All right, so that's looking good. Let's go ahead and zoom all the way out, fit it in the screen. And then I think for this background, what might work here is if, so no, I don't want to change the pin settings. Okay. what if we... What if we darkened it? So let's go ahead and grab this and then fill tool that in all the way in. And looks like we have a spare pixel here too. What is this? What is this? What is this spare pixel? Oh, I see. Okay. No. There we go. So there, it's more of like a silhouette almost of a building. And then we can actually go darker with that shade. So let's take that a little bit darker. And there was like, for this building in the background, there was like an outline of this like middle piece. So let's try that. So this middle piece had like an odd shape to it, but it's kind of like this. Whoops. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and merge this layer down. There we go. So this middle piece had like an odd shape to it. It had like curve that went down like this, and then it had, keeping at that angle at the same, almost like this. So it made it look trippy because you're kind of like looking up at it from an angle, so it does make sense perspective wise. But okay, so with this background selected, fill this in. Oop. Fill this in back here, and then take out this color here. Kind of clean that up a little bit, and then we can kind of like rough in some windows. I'm gonna keep the windows a lot less detailed than what I did for the like Burple building. We'll call it Burple. So. See, I'll do a new layer for that too. When in doubt, minty layers. Okay, we'll outline it like this. And the windows should be like smaller, I think, as to not take away focus from the bigger building. But kind of like ominous Batman them here. Just quick rough. Fill it in. We can always clean up the edges, make the pixels a little bit more straighter. But just, nobody has anything lit in the back. Oops, in the background. In their windows. They're just chilling in their apartments in the background. Which is a good way to be. All right. And then my drawing software decided to give me a system dialog. Alright. Can't wait till they come out with the M1 version of a few of these softwares. But okay, so now we will put in some of the like stripes in the background. I have to admit, the like okay so being a little louder was actually because my cat was clawing at carpet, and the tone was good enough to know like, hey, you're not supposed to be doing this, and it worked. She quit doing it. So excuse the randomness there, but yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. So the building had some like the lines on it were really for siding, but I thought it kind of looked cool to kind of like give a stripe look to there, and maybe do like a window at the top here. Be kind of cool. But yeah, just kind of making it like not super contrasty, but definitely part of the background. Now, could play with the sky a bit more. Maybe making the tone of yellow a little bit lighter, maybe. Let's see. Where's this guy? Select the sky. Let's make it a little more dusky. Fill that in. Whoa, no. There we go. Nice. Kind of get the more like muted look like the background is. I like that. And then we could go even a little bit lighter here. And put in some like clouds. Whoops. Too bright. Okay. Put in some like clouds in the background here. Kind of rough those in. See what that looks like. Make an elongated one. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Kind of flatten it out. Nice. All right. So then let's go back to that building. Oops. And kind of clean up some of these edges here. So just straightening it out where I kind of see where I would want to kind of either pull it out a little bit more to make it look a little bit more boxy or not. That's all crazy looking. I like it. You know what? I think getting to a good spot. Oh yeah, right there. Come on. Did I not select the right layer? Could happen. Yeah, there it goes. Just trim that up there a little bit. Let's trim up some of these outline edges here. That is not the right layer. Boom, now it is. Just take off some of the jaggies. Oops, maybe right there, right there. Put back that. There, I think that makes sense. And then take out some here. Yeah. Okay, and then take out some of that background here. Just cleaning up some of that edge. Maybe like this. Yes. And then switching to that background layer. Boom. Back to the eraser. Pulling out some of that nasty. Okay. Come on, select the right layer. There we go. And then cleaning up some of these lines here. Just to make them look less thick and less like, I don't know, gross. I think that looks pretty good. So it's a little like chaos magic in the background. You know, I kind of just, oops. I kind of don't like these lines. I feel like at that shade they kind of distract a little bit. And I think what I can do too is take this layer here. So if I take where some of these houses are in the background, and then I adjust this, take that opacity back down a little bit and make it kind of blend in more with the background. Yeah, much better. So that, you know, it's a little bit not so craziness. And I see some edges that I could probably clean up. Let's see. But I think that it would take a while. So, like the edge at the top left of the background building. But I think that since it is a background building, what I can do here is, where's that edge? Or that outline, I mean. Let's see, select outline. Yeah. What I can do is take out this middle area. I think that'll help like it be less distracting and kind of blend more into the background. Yeah. And then take that layer too and go into these opacity settings and bring that outline down just a touch. Ooh, touch too much. There we go. Not too much. But yeah. Something like that. Nice. So yeah, that is a building based on just a picture that I saw today. I like it. I think it's kind of keeping with my purplish color scheme right now. Just as a reminder, it was a picture like this that inspired me to do something like this. Similar kind of look and feel for some of the windows. Perspective changed a little bit there. But I think it turned out pretty cool. I like it. Looks like there's people on the inside. Looks like it's getting like a dusky or a dawn type morning. Yeah, pipes on the outside. Got the illusion of brick. Looks pretty darn sweet to me. All right, well, I'm going to stop it here, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.